What's good, guys? It's your boy DB and I'm back with a Gagged Heroes video, and I know a lot of people have been saying, why am I not making these? And it's really just because I've not been enjoying the game a lot lately. I've not had a lot of fun playing it. I don't like to make many of the videos that are particularly negative unless it's something I really feel needs to be said. So as a result, I just kind of go quiet and disappear. You know, there's not a lot I can make content on these days because they've kind of nerfed my niche anyway, which is, you know, the whole anti-meta free-to-play thing. And I mean, CG have all but destroyed the free-to-play game, and then they've just gone and nerfed pretty much the entire anti-meta. So screw me, right? I'm just kind of playing the game over on Twitch, doing GAC every now and then, and yeah, that's kind of been it. But one of the game modes, the game was very happy about. You know, a lot of the content creators in other games were really sad that they didn't have a version of it, is Conquest. And Conquest, unfortunately, right now, is a complete mess. I'll throw it up on the screen so we can just have a look at it. But in general, it's gone from a mode that had incredible promise to a mode that a lot of us don't even enjoy playing right now. I know I'm not the only one, because I think about 10 people in my guild have just gone and retired. If you look at the account selling discords, they're overflowing right now. Everyone's selling their accounts, and those end gamers, those like 6 millions, those 7 millions, those 8 million accounts are all kind of leaving at the same time. And it was, for me, it's just too many bad things happening at once. The nerfs followed by what I can only really call a cash grab Conquest, quite frankly. It literally requires like 2 refreshes a day. It's 100 crystals on top of all the points that we'll run through in this video, and it's just it's a bit too much to swallow all in one go. They really should have like staggered this kind of stuff with good things, good news, new content and such, but sadly they haven't done that. They've just kind of been like, here's 1 scoop of garbage and now eat 2 more. And I think that's really what's been the breaking point for a lot of players. I know my buddy Scribe recently put out a video, and I sat and watched it, and I agreed with every single thing he was saying. And he, much like me, is one of those content creators that doesn't just dive on negativity immediately. Neither of us have ever made those SWGOH is dead, SWGOH is dying videos, because quite frankly in the past it never was. It wasn't in a great spot, but it never was. But yeah, it's definitely not in a good spot right now. Look at any content creator, and you don't even have to just look at me. Look at Cub, look at Arnold. Views are not where they were at all. I mean, usually when I'm streaming in the day, I'm probably about the 3rd biggest content creator that's on at that time. Arnold will be ahead of me, Cub will be ahead of me, and I'm just behind somewhere in the lines of 150 odd viewers or something like that. Arnold's up there with thousands. Cub's usually ahead of me by 50 to 100 or so, usually in that 200, 250 spot. And these days I'm kind of doing like 50. You know, that's a pretty significant drop. Even in the night spot last night, I went on live at night, and I was first out of all the content creators over on Twitch, but I was first with 50 instead of my usual like 200 plus at that time. And like second I think was Gridden with about 16 at the time, and that's not normal either. He's usually right up there with me and sometimes ahead of me. So the game's really not in a healthy spot at the moment, and I think a lot of us just, I mean, it's usually an escape from life to play this kind of game. A lot of us play it to just get away from the negativity and the carnage that goes on in the real world, and sadly that's all here in game as well. And a lot of people just, they're not having fun playing their own. They don't want to watch the content creators doing the same thing. Conquest could really turn this around though. They could turn this around. I'm hoping CG are listening to this kind of feedback, because if even the positive content creators are saying this, and it's not just the negative minority that are always complaining about something, then perhaps there's something to it, you know. And I really hope they do something about this. And one of the big things for me, we get on to point number 1, one of the big things for me is that, quite frankly, we're having to do the same things over and over again for the feats right now. They're incredibly grindy. They're not fun. I mean, that kind of one, you'll get quite quickly using any team with mass assists, which is pretty much how all the teams are designed these days. Mandalorians, Jedi, Imperial Troopers and such. They're all like mass assist squads. But then we got the Phoenix squad one, so that's going to require us to stick Ezra with, like, I don't know, like in any Jedi team, and usually under Jedi Master Luke, so you can stack his mastery, and you don't need him massively relic. Mine's gear 11, for example, but I can boost him through Jedi Master Luke, and so that's quite grindy. And then we got the support one. Yeah, that's fine, we can throw in rebels, but the problem is a lot of these teams are only going to work against specific teams, which means we're then having to use the same team against the same node in the same sector over and over again, letting it replenish its stamina, and then doing it over and over again. And that's hindering our progress getting through the sectors. And I think that's one of the things that makes people feel like we're getting nowhere. It's not fun. I mean, Bounty Hunters, for example, I think I've tried against 3 squads. They've lost twice. They've won once. That actually counted. I did win another time, and Conquest crashed. It all just froze. So that was fun. I've been getting all sorts of bugs, actually. So that's something they really should sort. If they're going to make this 50 times more tedious, then perhaps fix the bugs in the game. So we're not being screwed when we're actually getting somewhere. That would be nice. But they're all they're very, very grindy. And I mean, the boss ones, for example, if we go to the boss ones, where is it? It's over here. We've got to fight this 3 times. We've got to do a full light side, a full dark side, and then one of them has to be undersized. So we can't do the undersized with these ones because these need to be a full squad. It's just making us fight these things over and over again, rather than being able to use our energy to progress, which just kind of makes things feel much longer than they are. The Towson one is bugged, by the way. Last night live on stream I killed Towson, which you have to do first, and then I killed Daka, so that's great. There's no revives in their team now unless like a Saj or Spirit or someone get a kill on my squad, bring in a revive back through Towson's, I think it's her leadership basic. But there was nobody left for them to kill except Jedi Master Luke, who they couldn't kill. And then randomly, Towson and Daka both revived. So there was no possible way for that to happen, and it happened. Lots of people saying it's happening to them too. So that is a bug for those of you that are going to come across that at some stage. And it's one of many bugs that are still in this game right now. Some things don't track correctly. Some things do track correctly, but they're described wrong, so you don't realize. But this is where I am right now. You can see I'm nearly at the second box. I'm in sector 3. This is as far as I got last time. I got to the second box last time, not the second last one, the second one. Here in sector 3, by which point I was kind of like, I'm not enjoying this. I'm just going to go and play something else, and I was focusing on Marvel Strike Force instead. And I'm pretty much at the same point right now. I'm not having a lot of fun. I'm close to box number 2. How close am I? Yeah, like 30 tickets, whatever they're called, away from it. So I'm more or less in the same position I was last time. And I'm at the same point where I'm just not having any fun with it right now. The feats are a little bit more grindy in this one. You've got the stealth one. You can use R2 or Hoda. The problem is most teams that R2's with are so strong, you're only really going to get one wave of stealth off before you've killed them. The stun one, attempted to afflict it, yeah, you can run the Palpatine squads and stuff. Odds are you're going to lose with those because the Palpatine squads are just so garbage. I mean, Empire in general are pretty garbage. I've been trying to stack that one with this one. I'm running like Palp, Thrawn, Vader and stuff, but Vader's been nerfed, so he's just tickling people with his saber now, not actually killing anyone, and Empire are losing. I think I've done about 9 Empire battles. I've won 2. The only ones I've managed to win are against Phoenix. So I've got a couple of Gear 12 Imperial Troopers. They get killed instantly, so it becomes a 3v5 battle, and I'm often losing those. And despite the fact my Palp Vader squad is fully relicked, as I said, they're not really capable of beating anything anymore, so I'm not really getting anywhere. In about 9 battles, I've got about that many stuns because they just swarm Palp really quickly, and I'm not actually getting any wins, so not particularly fun. The Frenzy one, I hear I've pretty much got to buy one of those little buff things in order to get that quickly with Bosk or something, because my my Bistan's not any good, so he gets killed before he moves. Then the evasion down one, I've been recommended to use rebels against Padme with this and drag the battle out as long as I can and use specific cards. But they're all just incredibly grindy. Same with Old Republic. I'm having to basically use one specific team against one specific node, repeatedly let my energy replenish, do it again the next day. You know, it's very grindy. I'm not really able to progress. I'm not really able to have any freedom of choice with my own account, and I think that's been one of the biggest problems with the game as of late. Arena, Territory War, Grand Arena, our farms, our next projects, and now Conquest are all pretty much being played for us. CG are essentially saying you have to use this to do this, to get this, to do this, for that. And it's like, okay, so at what point do I really have any control? If I want to still remain, you know, relevant in the game, at what point do I have any control over my own account anymore? I feel like I don't. I have to gear 15 characters, of which maybe 3 or 4 are any good, to get the next GL, to beat the last GL, to stay first in arena, to get my crystals, to hoard for the next ones that I don't really need because there's no content to actually be working towards. You know, it's not like there's a new dark side territory battle out there that I need Lord Vader for. I don't need him. What use is he at this point? Yeah, I can control arena a little bit easier with him, but I don't need to. I haven't really bothered with arena for about 2 or 3 months, and it hasn't affected me in any of the game modes whatsoever because there's no need for another Dark Side Galactic Legend right now. There's no Dark Side based content. There's no new raid. There's just kind of nothing. You know, in GAC, I'm fighting the same people. The big issue in GAC is in fact Executor, because there's pretty much no counter to it without having it. Yeah, I can grind it down with a few fleets, but then that's pretty much an auto loss. So it's you know, I mean, we need a new Dark Side TB. We probably need a new Light Side one very shortly. Most people have Kenobi by this point as well. I've only got 2. I've got Rey and Luke. I don't have Kenobi or Lord Vader for that matter. It's a little bit slow as a free-to-play player having to get all these Relic 8s now. So it's we're just in a spot where I feel I'm having to gear and use specific things, and I just don't have any choice. I want to build a couple of other teams, and I can't unless I want to fall even further behind. And I think CG need to pause right now with Galactic Legends. They need to pause and need to let people have a little bit of fun and work on what they want to work on. I don't think Galactic Legends are needed at the moment. I think, well, we've got 6. I think that's enough. We've got Executor to work towards as well. If anything, work on some more fleet stuff. Give us a little bit more variation in there, because for the longest period of time it's just been Malevolence and Negotiator forever, and now it's just Executor or bust. So give us a little bit more variation over there and work on some content. Please, I beg you, work on some content that actually gives us something to work towards, gives us an incentive to still be first in arena, therefore giving us an incentive to still be gearing these characters that we don't need and unlocking other characters that we don't need. You know, that really needs to be the thing right now. There is no reason for me to chase more for arena right now. There's none. You know, I went and got the second box last time. Why do I need him? What, for my Lord Vader that I don't need? For arena that I don't need to be first in? You know, there is no incentive for these things, which weakens the cash grab that they're trying to pull out of Conquest. A lot of people have been like, I don't need this, there's no point, I'm just going to quit. You know, you don't want that. That was my R2 clock beeping in the background, if I might pick that up. You just don't need to, and that's long been the problem with this at the moment. The lack of freedom, the lack of incentive. If you want people to spend, give incentive. Don't try and force people to spend. That's not the way to do this. That just makes people quit. Especially those that spend very small amounts or no amounts. They're just going to go. I spend a little bit in Marvel Strike Force. I don't spend anything Galaxy Heroes because, again, no incentive. And that's something I've really been, pushing in this video, and I'm hoping they listen. When I make these kind of videos, I find a lot of the time they do end up seemingly taking notes. I don't know if they really watch me. I did get a message last time of one of my previous criticisms, and I kind of feel they've gone the wrong way with it, unfortunately. When Conquest first came around, enjoyed it. The second wave was the same thing. I was like, wait, I very quickly addressed it. I felt they needed to mix things up. We needed new discs, we needed new enemies, we needed new feats just to keep things fresh. What we didn't need is CG to essentially, play the game for us and make every single decision of who we gear, what teams we have to use in every single battle of every node. So I feel they they got the message and they went a little bit overboard with it. It's cool that they want us to use Old Republic, and it's cool that they want us to bust out our empire. The problem is when the teams that we got to face pretty much can't use any of those because the kits are so dated and you've nerfed a lot of the characters. So I feel there needs to be a balance to the game. Things need to be rebalanced with the power curve and stuff if they're going to expect this kind of stuff. I don't want to build up my Phoenix to get there any quicker. There's no incentive again. I keep hitting this point, but it's true. That's what it comes back to. Let me know what you guys think. I don't want to rant any longer. I think I've been going on long enough. Those of you that watch my streams have probably heard this repeatedly. I should probably just clip things out of my streams to make videos these days because I'm regularly... I feel like as soon as I've stopped ranting about something, somebody comes in and asks my opinion on it because they've missed it already, which is one of the reasons I've opted to make this video, because I can just go watch that video. I'm tired of talking about it. I want to play the game. But yeah, let me know what you think. What needs to be done? For me, really, it's they need to pause Galactic Legends right now, work on some new content, giving us an incentive to work on these things they're trying to pressure us into working on in these ongoing cash grabs. Until then, yeah, there's just no real reason for me to do it, and I'll just keep taking my time. Yesterday was the highest I placed in Arena in a long time. It's 35th, not because I can't be bothered, because I don't need to. Just go and do something else with my time instead. I actually made top 10 in Fleet yesterday because I managed to dance around Executors, and that was fine with me because obviously I'm working towards Executor, but I'm not quite there right now because of all the Relic 8s that I need. Quite frankly, that's the block. I've pretty much done everything else, but I need to Relic 8 Piet and Boba, and Boba's got a kit that hasn't been good since like early 2017. So perhaps buff him, CG. Again, give us an incentive to actually develop him. But yeah, I think I've kind of used the word incentive enough times in this video now. Hopefully they get that, they get the point. Hopefully you guys understand I'm not just a negative creator. If I was, I would have cashed in and made about 50 videos on this by now, and you've had one in a month on Galaxy of Heroes on this subject. So I feel I make valid points without beating a dead horse and just cashing in on ad revenue. To my own detriment, I could probably use that ad revenue right now. But yeah, let me know what you think, guys. This is really where I'm at in the game right now. I don't want to quit. I very nearly quit at one point. I informed Nev that I was done. A few Shad mates of mine, good friends of mine, Spacey, a lot of you all know Spacey, really tried to talk me out of quitting. A lot of my hardcore viewers that will support me on any game anyway. If you watch my Twitch channel, you'll see the same people they've quit Galaxy Heroes already, and they're still watching me play, and they'll watch me play other games too. They've tried to talk me out of it. But yeah, I'm kind of playing semi-casual right now, hoping that things balance out. Let me know what you think about all this stuff, guys. I feel this Conquest massacre, these GLs have all happened too close to these nerfs, for my opinion. And we need something new to do in the game. Give us a new TB, give us a new raid, CG. Don't just keep giving us new piles of garbage that we have to swallow. I beg you. Till next time, guys, your general is out of here.